Executional frameworks might be a simple topic to consider, but still it adds a lot of weightage to an advertisement. While the message strategies and the advertising appeal adds colors and life to an advertisement, executional frameworks add shape to an advertisement. It literally gives a shape to your advertisement. So in order to understand it in a better way, we are going to divide the executional framework into 1 and 2. So under executional framework 1, we are going to talk about animation, slice of life, dramatization, and informative. So I guess you are familiar with this animation, that is Pillsbury Doughboy, which was very famous in the last 2 decades. Any advertisement which has an animation element into it, it is always made of low budget, uh, due to the fact that it is mainly an animation which was created using softwares, and there was less human involved in making that advertisement. I mean, less human impact in acting part of advertisement. So this kind of advertisement is mainly suited for print advertisement. At the same time, it is also suited for advertisements on internet, social media, and even television. Animation has more number of benefits, such as it is timeless. The reason being, if suppose you want to make a traditional advertisement where you have to rope in a celebrity to perform an advertisement, the celebrity as a human will have the tendency to age over the years, whereas animation will never age, and hence it is timeless, and it is also economical due to the fact that there is no casting involved at the same time, because of the lack of casting involvement and other things, such as due to the lack of involvement of people, it is always considered as a time saving approach. Slice of life is a framework which talks about the problems which are faced by the consumers in the daily life. So it basically gives a slice of real life situation which involves customer problems. Normally, these advertisements are portrayed in such a way that the product comes to the rescue of the consumer in solving their daily life situation. And slice of life framework was first used by P&G, and it was very successful campaign. And this particular slice of life framework is not limited to just one platform, whereas it is applicable to any platform where you want to communicate with your consumer. So basically, it talks about interacting with the people and then identifying a problem and then introducing your product, that is, making your product talk with the consumer about the problem and then giving a solution. So this is what slice of life executional framework is. That leads us to dramatization. Even though it is slightly similar to slice of life, it still have the difference. The difference is the intensity. These kind of advertisement basically creates a higher level of excitement and suspense in storytelling. So if you can see this example, Capital One is a credit card services, where if you can please go to the YouTube and check this video, and you will be able to see the flight seats which you are able to see at the background, it starts getting disappeared. So basically they're trying to convey that when you are going to use this Capital One card to book your flight seats, you will be able to do it faster. And this is the actual message they want to convey, but they add a pinch of excitement and suspense in their storytelling process, which gives a sense of intensity, and it makes this particular framework an interesting one. So the next executional approach we are going to talk about is informative approach, where the message is directly conveyed to the consumer over print media. So basically, this framework is information centered, and it is less famous on television because because of the high level of information you can see on these advertisements. Whereas in television, you will have a limitation to display your advertisement, and hence, if suppose you are going to follow the executional approach where information is the nucleus, and if you want to follow this on display this on television, then probably consumers will ignore them because they will not be interested in reading all the information you are going to put there. So this is something similar to rational appeal, where a lot of logical decision making is involved. So and that is the reason why we say it is best suited for print advertisement. But in these kind of frameworks, it is always important to consider that the ad placing is very important. If suppose you are able to display your ad next to a relevant message which is happening in your region, then it would be effective. So let us now talk about executional framework 2. Executional framework 2 consists of testimonial framework, authoritative framework, demonstration oriented framework, and a framework of fantasy. So testimonial is something which we have normally come across in our social media platforms or any other internet activities you have performing in your daily lives. So testimonial is all about sharing a positive experience you have gained by using a product or a service. Testimonials from customers always add credibility to the claims. So it must be based on some actual use of the product to avoid legal problems. You cannot just rope in a few people and give a fake testimony about your product and so on. It is not possible because it must be relevant, and you should the person who is going to give testimony should have actually used your product and so on. And it must also be noted that the spokesperson whom we are going to rope in to share his testimony should be credible. So normally celebrities are roped in for testimonial advertisements due to the considerations of PR and higher degree of brand recall. So that leads us to the other framework in executing an advertisement, which is authoritative. Authoritative framework involves convincing the customer by claiming that your brand is superior when compared to the competitor, and you will be able to achieve this by roping in an expert. In this case, you can see a doctor claiming that Pepsodent is more germ killing than any other brand which is available in the market, and hence we call this as expert authority. This approach basically assumes that the consumers rely on cognitive approach. It also requires scientific and technical evidence to support whatever claim you are going to make on your product. So that leads us to talk about an executional framework called demonstrative. So this is widely used in television and internet advertisement. In this video, you can see two Volvo trucks claiming that they have the perfect balance of steering wheel, even if they are moving backwards. So they have roped in a celebrity who is famous for his stunts, and they were able to demonstrate that they have a better balance in driving. So this video is available on YouTube. You can just check it. These kind of demonstrative frameworks can be used in print media too by showing a series of pictures during the product usage. So fantasy is one of the executional framework which indeed gives a lot of fantasy to the viewers. So if you can see this advertisement, probably you would have guessed it by now. This is what happens when you go to a vending machine and you put a coin inside expecting a drink to come out. So again, this video is also available for you to see on the YouTube. You can just check and see this advertisement taking you to a land of fantasy. So basically, these frameworks are designed to lift the audience beyond the real world. Experience to believe is the motto on which these frameworks work, and basically these are used for image advertising. So, with the executional frameworks being discussed, we should also talk about the importance of selecting a spokesperson. Viewers believe that the spokesperson is a real person who is actually happy with the product performance, trustworthiness, and credibility increase. So basically, the spokesperson have few traits such as attractiveness, not only physical but also personality. He should also have a trait such as likability, similarity, trustworthiness, and expertise. Uh, Likability is something how much he is able to relate himself to the common public, and similarity is something which talks about his values and the product which he is representing, and the trustworthiness is something which gives the consumers confidence on that particular brand or the product, and expertise is something which gives consumers a sense of belief in buying a particular brand. So these are the few traits a spokesperson must have, and these are the traits you should be aware about before you select a spokesperson uh, to represent the campaign which you are going to make. Let us also see about the few types of spokesperson. So celebrities who are basically used to establish brand personality are also the type of spokesperson. At the same time, CEOs, experts, and typical person are also a type of spokesperson. Typical person here is referring to a common person. I want you to understand that all these traits may not be available, or you cannot see all these traits in all of these people. A celebrity may have attractiveness, a celebrity may have likability, but he may not be having similarity, trustworthiness, or expertise. In the same way, a CEO may have expertise and he would be trustworthy. He may have the similarity between his values and the product he is referring to, but he may not be having attractiveness and likability. For example, if you can think about any insurance ad or any ad for a financial services such as banks, you will be able to see a CEO coming and talking about the particular brand. So experts are someone who belongs to a particular field from where they will be able to represent the particular product really well, such as a doctor coming and representing a product such as toothpaste and so on. Typical persons are the one who are commoners, like a person, a farmer coming and talking about an agricultural based advertisement and so on. So basically, we should understand that physical imperfections of real people make it easier for the viewers to identify with them. However, attractiveness and likability scores will be lower for all those typical people. That is the reason why advertising agencies sometimes hire professional models and actors to portray ordinary people. It is easier to create the desired effects such as likability and trustworthiness by using professional actors. I hope you understand that there are few important traits to be considered in selecting a spokesperson. So this is all about the executional frameworks in designing an advertisement, as well as the factors involved in selecting a spokesperson.